Steve, how difficult was it to map out a plan for tomorrow's scrimmage in terms of minutes, and where do you anticipate topping out your regular starters' minutes?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. It looks like everybody that is cleared to play, I think will play. I haven't, to be honest, Josh, usually that's one of those things I mess around with it even during the regular season. I look at matchups, I mess around the day before, but I usually don't determine the definitive minutes until the morning of the game.
Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Roy.
The logistics for a game day that you had gone through. Can you kind of talk about what you learned? Maybe some things that are a little unusual, and just sort of how that process is going to work for you guys.
Yeah, I'll be honest. We have such a good setup here. It's not going to be all that different. The NBA has built walk-through facilities so that if you don't want to get in the bus, like for a 3 o'clock start, we don't. And we're able to walk through. We usually do it on the road in a ballroom anyway. So it's really not going to be all that different than a regular game on the road.
Sorry, David Steele, Fox Sports Florida.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, David.
What would you like to see the team? What would you like to accomplish tomorrow? If at the end of the day, what will have happened if you'll feel like it was a successful day?
I just want to get a feel, to be honest, of, every aspect of the game, where we're at offensively, where we're at defensively. And then also, we're like any other team is, you've got to have the right intensity, the right concentration, and the right purpose of play. And if you watched our last, I'd say 18 games, we had that. And that's what we have to try to get back to.
Aaron Stolzfus, West 2.
That was going to be my question, Steve, but I'll go with this. What are you focusing on? What groups are you going to look at tomorrow in the first scrimmage?
Yeah, I'm not going to mix the groups up too much, just because, again, we're being very careful about how many minutes in a row guys play. So when you do that with all of them instead of one or two, it's hard to get to different groups. And so it's more so, to be honest, we have pretty definitive minutes for most guys. I'm going to talk to David Tenney again tonight. And then like I said, I'll decide in the morning exactly how we're going to do it. But it's going to make it more difficult to get to playing groups for the way we're going to sub tomorrow.
George, you still there? So it's not good.
Josh Cohen, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Cliff. I know the players watched a John Lewis documentary before practice. Can you just talk about how beneficial that was for them to learn more about how iconic he was and what he meant to our nation?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's an unbelievable 95 minutes, and really just one of the great men of our time, and someone who dedicated his life to change and to racial equity, and I think a number of guys I think knew quite a bit about him, but it was they were locked in to the whole thing, and it's a great documentary for an incredible American leader, and time well spent. I actually, when we get to the gym tonight, and this doesn't always happen in the NBA, I had 4 or 5 of them come up and say, man, like that was great. And so it was an afternoon well spent.
Josh Robbins.
Cliff, who is not going to play tomorrow?
J.I. won't be able to play tomorrow. Markel won't be able to play tomorrow. And then we have a couple other guys who will be on very limited minutes.
David Steele. David, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You mentioned the purpose of play is the big thing you're looking for tomorrow. What about style of play? Because when the season was stopped, you were playing at a higher tempo. Defensively, there had been some slippage, but offensively, one of the top teams, if not the top team in the league. Is it possible to continue to play at that tempo and improve the defense? Is that one of the things you'll be trying to look for tomorrow, or are you not that far along yet?
Oh, no, totally. And that's been the emphasis. We've used a lot of the analytics, the numbers, so the guys understand that, for say 45 games, we were a really good defensive team. And the more we started to score, our defense wasn't as good. And then if we can put together the type of defense we played for the majority of the year with the type of offense we played the last, 15 to 16 games, then, we really have a chance. And that starts, like you said, there were two things after the All-Star break that we really emphasized: pace, and not just pace of getting the ball up and down the floor, but pace of the ball movement in the offense, which we got a lot better at. And the second was screening. And we're like most teams. When we screen well, we get a lot better shots, and our screening during that time was also much better.
Okay, we have time for a couple of more for Cliff. Aaron Goldstone.
Hey, Coach. I want to circle back really quickly to something you mentioned at the end of last week. You specifically said Mo Bamba was doing some things in practice, not participating in other things in practice, like a lot of the guys that you were managing. Do you specifically for Mo see any kind of restrictions or limitations for him over the next 3 scrimmages?
Yes. Like tomorrow, the most he's been able to play so far in a 5-on-5 situation is about 5 to 6 minutes. And that's probably about what where we're at. He's going to take some time for him just to be able to get, just to get to a place where it would be, that he could play more minutes.
Okay, one more, Paul Casanova.
Yeah, hi, Coach. How close is J.I. coming to getting back and being able to play again? I mean, like joining the team during the games.
Yeah, I think again, Paul, it's really more day to day. We practice. He's evaluated. He's working hard, and then there's just things that we have to make sure of. Medically, just to make sure that it's smart for him to take the next step. He has done contact in practice, and so far everything has gone fine. But he's too big a part of our future to move things along at a pace any quicker than what we're doing. I'm totally comfortable, and I know he is, with the way that we're doing it. We all want him to play. But his future and his career are the top priority.
Okay, anything else for Coach Clifford? All right, thanks, Cliff.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be back in a second.